Boom. Welcome to the 2023 Rules Committee, vice chaired by none other than Senator Frank Ginn. I keep waiting on his walk-up music. All right, let's get started. Everybody's hungry. Everybody wants to go get a cowboy hat. This ought to be quick since their house not moving our bills. Maybe we'll just adjourn. You're out of order, sir. All right. HB 76. Powell. All right. Well, I'm carrying it, so I'll talk about it. So simply a licensure in marriage and family therapy, and also had a little amendment done we did a committee sub, and it repeals GORC. Any questions? Repeals GORC. It strikes GORC from our record books for eternity. All right, HB 77, Representative Green, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the members of the...
Let me hold you 1 second, Representative
Yes, sir.
Green. House members, as y'all come up, I'd like to hear your version of why, a brief version of why our bills aren't moving over there. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if you saw the Rules Committee today, we voted out 3, and we voted out 3 more, and that left only 3 on the calendar.
Wow.
And so
they're holding them up in committee.
well, it's not rules, sir,
Okay.
as you well know.
As I well know, my counterpart over there is doing
Yeah.
a fine job.
He does, and
Y'all got to get him more bills.
and that's my version of it. And certainly, if you get more chairman in the House, these I guess it's time for the senators to go to them and say, hey, let's what's wrong with my bill? Let's go to.
Is that a may or a shall?
We'll let them decide.
All right, well, let's hear about your bill.
Yes, so this is the Daugherty County Circuit for another judge in Southwest Georgia. Senator Sims and I are trying to get this before the Rules Committee. It passed through the House. It has gone through the House Judiciary, and House Bill 77 was the #1 bill for a new judge. This brings the total number in Daugherty to 4. We have...
I think that's good. Any questions for the author? Sure, I got a question from Senator Beach.
Do you have funding for this position?
Yes, there is funding in the budget.
Good question. All right, any other questions? Thank you, Representative Green. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
your service to this state.
Well, thank you so much, and we appreciate y'all's.
All
And I
right.
will talk with individuals in my caucus there to see if we can get things moving for y'all.
That's a may, not a shall. No, a shall, not a may.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. Representative Maynard, she'd been here multiple times. I told her she didn't need to come back. Simply establishment of a unified campus police force. Any questions? Okay. HB 175, Senator Daniel. Is she with us? She is not with us. Okay. Y'all keep that in mind when you're making your picks. HB 176, Chairman Gunter.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. This is a council Superior Court judge's bill. It increases the expense pay for the circuit court reporters.
Wait, I'm going to stop you.
Yes, sir.
What is your reason for Senate bills not moving?
I've got my first day to take up bills today, this afternoon. I got 5 of the 10 that have been sent to my committee.
Okay.
And I'll have the rest of them by next week.
Okay. So this is your first hearing since crossover day?
First one where I had the bills to put together, yes, first day.
Okay. What you been doing?
Resting for part of it, but.
Resting?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah, did y'all know were y'all aware of the score? It's 55-6.
no,
As the lieutenant governor eloquently put it, that's like UGA TCU level whooping. Just FYI.
understand.
Okay. Well, now go ahead about your bill.
Okay, it's increasing the expenses for court reporters. These are the official court reporters for the circuit. It is in the budget, and the way it was calculated, they were trying to take the dollars from back then to present day, and it was a little more than double the amount, so they just doubled the amounts on the expenses. So,
Okay. Any questions? Thank you.
thank you.
Dr. Newton, HB 203.
Yes, sir.
And if you
Thank
weren't
you, Mr.
here, I'd
Chairman.
like you to lead out with
Yes, sir, I heard.
what's your excuse?
I heard. I was pleased yesterday to work with one of my senators getting two bills out of House help that I look to carry, and I'll work with our Rules Committee, which I'm on, to try to make sure we keep moving those and others.
Uh-huh.
And I'm waiting actually for a hearing with a vote and on a couple of bills in Senate committees, and I'm looking
We're
forward to
not
that as
talking
well.
about, we're not talking about Senate committees. We're talking about House committees.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
55-6.
I'm sorry.
What's the score again?
Now, that's
Wait, one more time? Oh, yeah, okay.
55 to 6.
Yeah, we're
I'll do
obviously
everything
working.
in my power on the Rules Committee to
Yeah.
keep the ones that get out of committee
Yeah, don't
moving.
try to divert attention around here.
I would never do that.
Shell game. I'm on to you. All right, go ahead. Tell us your bill.
House Bill 203 would allow Georgians some options in low-risk groups to refill their contact lenses without having to do an in-person visit every year. It would allow them to go up to 24 months as long as they're healthy and have no pre-existing conditions that could endanger them.
Okay. You got a good Senate sponsor?
I believe I picked out one of the best, yes, sir.
Okay, good answer. Best answer you've had today. You just lost your pick.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
Oh, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Colonel Hitchens, HB 242.
Yes, sir, thank you. And you heard the dean speak to what we did in rules, and we had most of them that been on rules passed through, but I
Three,
think
you got three, so that'll get you to 9. Is that
well,
right? Is
that's
my
it.
math right?
That's it. I wasn't cognizant of that till I watched the lieutenant governor as I was waiting to see when you adjourned so I could come up here, and thought maybe I might not even come.
I'm glad you did, though.
Well, as an old naval officer, you know, I was in the Department of Navy too, so.
I wasn't an officer. I was in the real Navy.
Well, I was in the men's department in the Marine
Yes, you
Corps.
were. Yes, you were.
I was here yesterday with, this is Josper's Law, Senate Bill 205 from 2005. Essentially, it's a driver's education bill. It provides funding through traffic fine assessments to do driver education primarily for lower income people. The first priority is for law enforcement officers and military personnel who lost their life in the line of duty's children. Second is 175% of school lunch, free school lunch program. And as I said yesterday, the primary reason for this is some of those people that come from those environs don't always have great judgment. And as we've seen through statistical data, those kids who go through these schools do much better. They do better on testing, they have less traffic citations, they're involved in less accidents, less injuries, and less fatalities. It's a good program that's been going on now since 2005. And we run out of money every time. There used to be a third tier for all others, but we've never gone beyond the second tier, so we just did away with that. We also added last year by rule that children in foster care by defects get first priority. My philosophy there was when you're a foster child, you turn 18, you leave that environment. If you don't have a driver's license, I don't know how you can ever get a job.
Okay. Any questions for the author? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Representative Corbett, HB 268.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can only speak to what I can control, Mr. Chairman, and you can talk to your Chairman of Public Safety, and I have moved every bill that was assigned to my committee out already.
That's true. Hey. Let me make a note here. Okay. You got another check. You got 2 checks by
All
yours.
right. All right, House Bill 268, all across the state, law enforcement agencies, Mr. Chairman, they're grappling with auto theft crimes. So you see it right here in Atlanta, but it's not limited just to Atlanta. It's all over the state, especially when it comes to parts theft, the catalytic converters. It's a crime, it's just a problem everywhere, even down where I'm at in rural Georgia. If a church van is left parked outside, they come back from Wednesday night and the catalytic converter is stolen. So what we're doing, the common handicap that these law enforcement agencies have is lack of bandwidth. They don't have the personnel, the technology, the access to data that they need. Other states across the nation have created a auto theft prevention authority or either commission. What we're doing in this bill, we're setting up a auto theft advisory board, motor vehicle crimes advisory board. It'll be located at the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. It's where that agency will be housed. Their responsibility will be to take applications from local law enforcement agencies, applications for grants, and they'll determine which ones to fund. They make that recommendation to the council, and then they will fund the ones that are recommended to them depending on available funding. And that funding would be federal grants or either private donations or is how it'd be funded. It doesn't obligate the state to fund any money, and doesn't obligate the locals to match.
All right.
And I probably said
Question
too
from
much.
my vice chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think you talked yourself into some questions.
I probably did.
Representative Corbett said I believe that Senator Hatchett has a bill that addresses a lot of this same issues that went over to the House. Do you have any idea where that bill went to?
It didn't go to my committee, motor vehicles. It probably went to public safety. I'm not sure. I know it voted out of committee yesterday, out of public safety.
Thank you.
I do know where that went.
Thank you.
And I'm in full support of that bill as well.
Good answer. Any other questions from the committee for the author? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Always an honor.
Honor to have you. All right, Representative Jones, come on up. You know the drill by now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I bring before you HB 373, which is a first responders bill. This bipartisan bill is designed to seek that September 11th of each year is First Responders Appreciation Day here in Georgia. And it will be carried in the House by Senator James, who is here with me today.
All right, any questions for the author? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm kind of at a crossroads here, ladies and gentlemen, on what to do, Do we take the high road and keep working? Or take the low road and shut her down? You know what? We're going to lead by example in this legislature. And they're going to follow us, whether they like it or not. So we're going to pick a few. All right, I left off with the Dean of the Senate, Senator Harbison. 268. Good choice, because he is moving bills. All right, Senator Anna Vitarte, are you not with us? You lost your pick. I told him if he didn't come to my dinner last night, he didn't get a pick, so I think he didn't show up. Senator Jones, you didn't come either, but I'll give you a pick because I like you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 203.
203. Okay. All right. And quick reminder, since Senator James is in here with us, we passed out of the Standing Rules Committee. There was a motion and a do pass, and it passed unanimous that Senate Resolutions 115 and Senate Resolution 138 would go on the local consent calendar, so that will be on tomorrow's local consent calendar. So I'm just letting you and Senator Butler, you're welcome. Although you didn't come to my dinner either. It's okay. I still love you. Senator Albers.
I would love House Bill 242, please.
242. Okay. Well, you weren't there either.
I didn't get out of Capital 830 on the budget.
Senator Dugan, you get a pick. You were there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I appreciate your statesmanship approach to putting these bills on. And your mentor used to always say, policy over politics, and I'm glad that you're living up to that. So, with that,
Order. Order.
HB 142.
HB 142. Would you like 2.0 picks?
I would.
Well, you can't have them. 2.1's better anyway. So, how many is that? 4? Let's do another. Senator Beach.
HB 77.
77. Okay. Let's do another. Senator Dolezal.
I believe that would bring us to 60-5, and I like to be a gentleman, so I'm going to waive my right to a pick.
How many do I have? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6? 5. What have I circled that I didn't circle? Who picked? He picked 203. Harold Jones picked 203.
Oh. So then we'll have
What do you have? 76 is what I picked. Okay. I don't know why I picked. Circle that. You're going to wave? Well, then let's shut her down. We're done. All right. I have HB 77, HB 142, HB 203, HB 242, and HB 268. I've got a motion from my vice chairman. I've got a second from the man that shut it down, Senator Dolezal. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion passes with 1 no vote. Senator Walker.
Is that a mouse? What is it? Neat.